We talking about sports, get ball.
What it do, baby? Yeah.
Welcome back to the #1 podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee. For this episode, I am joined once again by Ronda Rousey bully, Scott Rowland's #1 fan, Thomas Lewis. Thanks for agreeing to join me again, buddy.
Always. I love being on this podcast. It gives me a reason to skirt other responsibilities throughout the day. Like, I'm surrounded by filth right now. Like, my desk is disgusting, and instead of cleaning it, I'm doing this. And then after this, I could tell Julie, there just wasn't enough time. You know, I just need.
Yeah, I had to do a podcast. What can I say?
Yeah, what do you want me to do, Julie? I'm an internet personality. I can't control that.
The #1
people
podcast listeners are give the people what they want.
Who am I to deny it to these people? Ted Cruz?
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
Live from Cancun.
I still can't believe that happened. I can't believe he did that.
Unreal.
Oh, my God. Imagine like a Civil War leader was like, actually, yeah, I'm just going to leave. Good luck, guys. Like, have fun with this one.
Yeah, I had this vacation planned. It's all inclusive, like non-refundable. Sorry.
Ooh, it's out of the country. I can't go. I can't be here right now. So.
Can we reschedule?
Yeah, can we actually reschedule the snowstorm?
Yeah.
I'm not rescheduling my vacation. I'd like to reschedule what you guys are doing.
Power outages, people without water. We can get to this later, right?
Just simply turn the water on. Like, what's wrong with these idiots in Texas that they can't figure it out?
Do I need to bring some back from Cancun?
Yeah, just bucket by bucket, Ted Cruz.
Anyway, fuck that guy. Get going with Yeah Fam or Not. We got a lot to discuss in this episode. First up, we're starting with baseball because one of the faces of the league at this point, Fernando Tatis, just signed a 14-year, $340 million extension with the San Diego Padres.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching is right. So Tatis is only 22 years old. It's worth noting because Mike Trout or Mookie Betts, the two of them both signed their mega deals at age 27. So Tatis is doing it even probably before he's even hitting his prime because 22 is so young. Yeah, fam or not, at these type of deals, are you a fan of these? It seems like this is the wave in baseball. Like, you get this young star and let's sign him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I love it.
Really?
I can't say it's great. I actually think there's I don't want to spill it too much here, but we're about to talk about it, so I'm just going to read the next bullet point here. Paul Hembedikes, no idea if I said
Paul
that right.
Hembekides, he's a Hembo on Get Up and ESPN.
Cool, we'll do that. Paul Hembo said Fernando Tatis Jr. playing the next 14 years in the country's number 27 media market on the West Coast is an objectively bad thing for baseball, and I couldn't disagree with that more. I actually think continuity is huge for baseball, and now that San Diego, that area, all those kids are going to grow up surrounded by him. You know, heroes is what makes sports great. It's not the little guys. Like, the diehard guys live for, like, the shitty Scott Rowlands of the world. But, like, the other people live for, like, the heroes. Like, do you know how many kids in my area grew up loving baseball just because of Derek Jeter? And now they're diehard Yankees fans?
True.
Like, I think putting these guys in a situation and keeping them there forever is huge. Like, Trout. Betts is a little different. He was a huge name. And it's ironic all three of these guys are Californian that were named. But,
yeah.
I think it's good, honestly.
So I'm a nod of this one, and I don't know Hembo just tweeted this, so I don't know the specific context, but I think it more has to do with the market. Like, you mentioned Jeter, and I think Jeter is a perfect example of being in, New York is such a hub of any activity in all across the world, whereas San Diego, it's like it constantly feels like in California they have better shit to do than watch sports. So
they do.
I love the idea of continuity. Like, to your point, I am a yeah fan to that. The video game player and the fantasy sports fan of me loves seeing switch up of teams and all that stuff. But for the sport and the longevity itself, it's great to have continuity. I think it's just interesting that now you have the Padres with two $300 million men in Manny Machado and Tatis now, and they're such a historically small market that part of you wonders, like, are they just going to get not necessarily forgotten, but it's like you don't hear a lot from Mike Trout. For as big of a name as he is in baseball, it's weird that in LA and like specifically the West Coast just kind of gets like not everybody can watch him in prime time. Part of what appealed about Jeter, in addition to him being like one of the greatest of all time, is he's in that market that's so accessible to everybody.
I think winning meant more to Jeter than the market, honestly. I think if the Padres won 2 out of the next 3 or whatever, everyone would be watching the Padres and know who they are. But if he does just go over there and the Padres just suck, and like they, you know what I mean, they just have 2 superstars that stink, then I don't think this deal's good for them. Honestly, they're better off just enjoying, or being the leeches or the urchins off the whales of the league. You know what I mean? Just like let the cash cows keep winning it. I do think there needs to be a salary cap structure in baseball. I think the way it is right now is just so fucked. It's like soccer though, and soccer is like the biggest sport in the world, but there's no salary cap. Like, so Everton's just like not going to win. Like you just write off some of these soccer teams because it's just they can't buy the better players.
Like, it was so huge for a team like the Royals to win. I think that was 2015 because like you in reality are maybe have one shot to cash in on a year, the Tampa Bay Rays, like they've had 2 recently, but it's crazy because usually it's going to be the people that spend the most, and it's the same markets in baseball.
Yeah, 110% agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I think this move is a no-brainer, bona fide, great decision if it brings them a championship and they all ascend to like superstardom. If they just middle off and lose in the first round of the playoffs or the playing game or whatever, it's a fucking nightmare, and they wasted $600 million on 2 guys.
Exactly. And I think part of this is just how baseball is. So I don't get the point in being like, oh, they shouldn't sign deals like this. It's like, the alternative is losing a generational talent. If this is what they're asking for, sure, a lot of them don't end up finishing their entire contract, and you might end up eating it, but at least San Diego is changing it up a little by signing him at age 22, so even if he runs out this entire deal, he's still, obviously won't live up to it, but at least you have a bigger chunk of his contract where he has potential to live up to what you're signing him for.
Even the draft in baseball is a little fucked, though. So it's like a miracle that the Padres even got a superstar. Of fucking course, the Padres are keeping the superstar.
Exactly. You don't get that all the time.
Yeah, no, they don't fall into your lap.
Oh, and by the way, just the anecdote, if there's any doubt what sport to play, if given the choice, and that part is very important. People are like, play baseball, kids. Like, not everybody's this fucking good. Not everybody's Fernando Tatis or Mike Trout. But assuming that you are an incredible athlete, if there's any doubt, the top 10 active Major League Baseball contracts are equal to $3.4 billion. That exceeds the value of the NFL's top 45 players' contracts. So if you have a great gene pool and you're an incredible athlete and have the opportunity to play baseball, it's the way to go.
Can I have 60 seconds to go on like a little tangent that is not related and definitely not endorsed by you because I don't want to speak for you. But
do you know what
you
podcast
and I are usually on the same point. You and I are usually on the same point, so you'll agree. But baseball has such a monetary. You have to get in there. It costs so much to get your foot in the door in baseball. For football, you grow up and what do you need to practice football, to learn how to throw a football? A $20 football. What do you need to learn how to get good at basketball? A basketball, and everywhere has a hoop. You can go out and do this stuff by yourself. In baseball, not only do you need the glove, the bat, and the ball, you need at least 2 other people with you at all times just to go out and practice one position. So there's been talk in baseball about the systemic racism in America affecting black athletes in baseball. And I'm with you. If you have the choice to play a sport, play baseball, but never donate to the NFL or the NBA or any of those. If you're going to donate to one of those things for kids to get involved, it's Little League Baseball. That's the thing that's the only sport you should invest in and hockey too. That's why it's honestly why you don't see any black hockey players. Hockey's sick. Like I don't like hockey, but the sport itself is awesome.
But hey, as they
the
say in
barrier,
hockey,
the cost of entry is insane.
Let's do that hockey.
You need the skates, you need the stick. The pucks are even kind of expensive. You need the shoulder pads, you need the helmet. It's pretty. And small inner city schools don't have hockey teams. They just don't do it because of the cost. They just have basketball, football,
and forget that the facilities too.
Exactly. It's pretty nuts, and it's awesome that Tatis did it, and I love seeing it. I think all these guys should get their fucking money. I love that the 300. I love Machado. I love Betts. I love Tatis. I love that they're minority guys getting these huge contracts.
Yep. We need to get Go Stros, by the way, but we need to get Correa his deal beyond just his 1 year deal.
I agree. Honestly, I think it's good for the sport and it's good for kids.
Speaking of cashing in on a draft pick.
Yeah, exactly. It's good for kids.
Did you know I was at the game. My cousins and I bought $8 tickets when they introduced Correa after they had just drafted him. When they were called the Lastros. We paid $8 for a ticket. And we're in there, and there was it was pretty empty, but they introduced Correa in that game. I still remember that.
That's pretty sick. That's a cool moment.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the NBA. I got a couple topics for you, kind of related to each other. First up, teams should sit players they plan on trading or buying out. So this came on the heels of a Draymond Green press conference where he talked about the double standard in the NBA. And for you number one podcast listeners that didn't catch his press conference after a recent game, here you go.
I would like to talk about something that's really bothering me, and it's the treatment of players in this league. To watch Andre Drummond before the game sit on the sideline, then go to the back, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated.
Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
For wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview after the All-Star game. And we continue to let this happen. But I got fined for stating my opinion of what I thought should happen with another player. But teams can come out and continue to say, oh, we're trading guys, we're not playing you. And yet we're to stay professional. At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But a team can say they're trading you, and that man is to stay in shape. He is to stay professional. And if not, his career is on the line. At some point, this league has to protect the players from embarrassment like that. We talk all of this stuff about you can't do this, you can't say that publicly. If you say that publicly, you're fine. Anthony Davis got fined, I think, $100,000 or something like that for demanding a trade publicly. But you can say Andre Drummond is getting traded publicly, and we're looking to trade him publicly, and he's to stay professional and just deal with it. But then when Kyrie Irving say, oh, my mental health is off, everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally? As much as we put into this game to be great, to come out here and be in shape, to produce for fans every single night, and most importantly, to help your team win, do you think that doesn't affect someone mentally? But as players, we're told to, no, you can't say that, you can't say this, but teams can. It goes along the same lines of when everyone wants to say, oh, man, that young guy can't figure it out. But no one wants to say the organization can't figure it out. At some point, the players must be respected, in these situations, and it's ridiculous, and I'm sick of seeing it.
Worth noting, the Andre Drummond comment. This is where what originally sparked Draymond Green's comments. The Cavs center is in the last year of his contract, and he's not part of their future plans because the Cavs and part of that Harden deal wound up with Jarrett Allen, who's a fantastic piece to pick up, but that's who they see their future center as, and they're looking to deal Drummond or buy him out. Thomas, what do you think? Yeah, fam or nah about the double standard?
Nah.
Specifically, if teams should sit players they plan on trading.
Big fucking, there's no double standard. Draymond Green is a fucking idiot. Sit the players. I don't give a shit. I've never seen, he makes so much money. He makes like $23 million. What is he fucking talking about? Like, they aren't the bosses. This is an organization. It's a game. First of all these guys get paid to play a game, and no point rooted in real life at all. Draymond Green's a fucking crybaby, whiny loser, and this is one of the worst takes I've seen. I can't disagree more. The team is allowed to protect. It's not like they're not paying Andre Drummond. You know what I mean? When they sit him, they're not paying him. He signed a contract. Once he signs that contract, they get to choose what he does with them. If you want the flexibility, Kevin Durant didn't take maxes in Golden State. He didn't take, the 5 years, whatever, 6 year super max. You know what I mean? Like, he knew he wanted to. I mean, I know we're anti Kevin Durant here, but you know what I mean? Like, he knew he wanted the flexibility, so he sacrificed the financial stability in the future. What the fuck? Andre Drummond's getting paid either way. The NBA and the Cavs specifically don't owe him to play him. They don't. They're going to, and there's such a huge difference in a player saying he wants to be traded. Once a player says he wants to be traded, he's saying, I'm not honoring this contract anymore. And when an NBA team says, we are trading you, that contract goes with you.
Right.
That contract you sign, every single player shouldn't assume, I mean, in the NBA, you shouldn't assume when you sign a contract, you're finishing that contract forever. I wouldn't think of it that way. And every player should go get their money, and these are all fake numbers. If someone offered me like 5 years, $10 million to go play in Denver, I would just assume I'm getting paid 5 years, $10 million to play professional basketball. Yeah. I wouldn't hitch my wagon to Denver or anything.
Not everybody's a LeBron James or a star player. Nobody has that longevity. You're getting paid that money.
If the trade-off that he wants here is to not get fully guaranteed contracts, and I fucking promise you Draymond Green doesn't want that. Like, I assure you he doesn't want, because he'd be cut right now. He's a fucking idiot.
It's kind of a weird, feels like a cop-out. Like, the world might be ending, because I found myself, like, when he first was talking, I was like, wow, am I agreeing with Draymond? And I kind of was initially, but the more, to your point, and I was thinking about it, it isn't really the same. I think the best point he made is the double standard in expectation. So Draymond talks a little bit about, he admits like James Harden was kind of dogging it, when he requested a trade. And 100% agree. I can't imagine Harden would deny that. But I think there is something to the fact that nothing gets said about a team choosing to sit someone, whereas like a player requesting a trade. And I think that goes to what you said, like, okay, they're deciding they don't want to honor the contract, but at the same time, they're the ones drawing the eyes. It's not the teams. It's not anything like that. Yeah. So you could say like, hey, they're the boss, but also there's no league without these players. So I think there is a little bit of responsibility, but I think he's more mad at the reputation given to players once they request a trade versus not the same treatment given to teams. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a fan, like, for Draymond's sentiment, but I think it's aimed at the wrong audience.
Yeah, there should be no issue with the NBA or ownership, because there is no double standard, because they're set to entirely different sets of standards. Yeah. The owner never comes out and says, we're going to act the same way you guys do, because that's just not fair. You know what I mean? It's just that doesn't make sense. And I know this is going to sound like capitalism, fucking insert whip sound, like nonsense, but they're the ones paying the bills. They make the decisions. The NBA is got every league should have all the players should get paid more fucking money, 100%. But it's not a double standard. It's not, because it's not like Draymond Green can go and sign somebody or trade somebody. There's literally a hierarchy here, and the players, unfortunately, are near the bottom of the hierarchy.
Right.
Here's what decisions a player can actually make: whether or not to sign that contract. That's everything he controls. That's it. He doesn't get to choose his teammates
and a little bit
anything.
to withhold services, essentially.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't give a shit. And I think that there was a rule back, I forget when it was, I think it was around Sam Bradford. He was the last big rookie contract, right? It was Bradford,
right.
I think.
Right, before they added the scale, yep.
Yeah. So there was talk when Bradford came out, and they were like, with an NBA's guaranteed contract, a player should be able to retire and still get all that money. And I agree with that. 100% I agree with that. I don't think they need to play that out. I think that the player should get the money up front. I don't even want any of this nonsense, because I don't want the money sitting in the owner's bank collecting, annuities. I want it sitting in the player's bank collecting annuity. And then this wouldn't even be an issue. Draymond got paid, it would be like Andre Drummond got paid all his money already. He doesn't give a fuck whether or not he plays. He doesn't have anything else to chase in terms of that. So I think, like you said, Draymond's misguiding it. The players shouldn't get a bad rep for hating their situation, but it's not the owner's fault. It's not James Harden's fault, or it's not Daryl Morey. Who's the GM there? I forget his name.
I don't even know at this point.
He's poor. I know he's rich poor. Like he's like
Is it Tillman Fertitta or something like that?
I have no idea. I have no clue. But all I know is like the Gruden, or who's Mark Davis. Yeah. They're rich in the sense of they can afford their NBA team and NFL team, but that's their only source of income.
Right.
So it's not his fault that James Harden just didn't want to fucking play for Houston anymore. And James Harden got what he wanted. He got to go to the team he wanted. He got everything he wanted. So just shut the fuck up, Draymond. You're getting paid millions of dollars. If you don't understand that this is a work-labor situation, well, you got to become a socialist comrade, bud, because come on over to the team. Like, we all want you. We all want the players to make your own league. Yeah. Literally make your own league. I would watch it. If every single NBA player was like, fuck it, we're going to make our own league, guess what? I'd watch that. I'd stop watching the NBA. My allegiance isn't to the Timberwolves. I watch, the 76ers because they have the best basketball players. If they didn't have the best basketball players anymore, I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I respect that he's trying to stick up for someone, but also I actually don't mind it, because like if Andre Drummond got hurt in that garbage time, I would feel way worse for Andre Drummond. Like, to your point, you said they're still paying him while they sit him, and why would you send him out there to maybe risk his health?
Hurt him.
Like, yeah. So from that sense, like, I for once get where Draymond the Woat Green is coming from. Like, he's trying to stick up for his players and the double standard of reputation that exists, but it exists because like you have these public demands for trade, and then you had one of your own, James Harden, dog it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think
there's
the
no
retirement
like equivalent
thing is
as
good.
an owner. Yeah, exactly.
Because if James Harden truly doesn't want to play for the Rockets anymore, and he wants to quit on that contract, take the money. He already has all his money in this scenario, and he can retire. He never has to work another day in his life if he doesn't want to.
Right.
It's that easy. He doesn't have to dog it. I don't know. I'm big anti this. I think Draymond's actually trying to set himself up as a spokesperson for the players, and no one's fucking buying it. He's just a moron. He's always been an idiot. Draymond's
I think his future's in TV, and he's definitely setting up for that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I think Charles Barkley and Shaq are entertaining and funny, and are they absolute monsters who could destroy me any day? Yeah, 1,000%. They're all great players, and Draymond's a great players, but that doesn't make them fucking smart. Doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, could Jason Williams shake me out of my shoes? Absolutely, but I would pay money to see him try to do his own taxes. Like, he's never even he couldn't even figure out how to load up TurboTax if he tried. Like, he's out of his realm. Draymond's just speaking straight out of his butthole.
What's new? Sticking in the NBA, I wanted your fam or not to and there's NBA players are reportedly hesitant to promote the COVID-19 vaccine. So this was per ESPN's Woj. Many of the NBA's top players are expressing apprehension about accepting invitations to participate in league-sponsored public service announcements to bolster broader acceptance of the coronavirus vaccine. The sources describe a number of factors contributing to their reluctance to participate, including uncertainty about taking the vaccine themselves, reluctance to advocate its use for others, and resistance to extending favors to a league amid the largely unpopular plans for an all-star game.
Yup.
So, it's hard for me not to put on my public health hat here. I'm going to go first, and then I'll get your thoughts, if that's cool.
Yeah,
with
go.
you.
Mine will be short, so take your time.
Okay. So, first, I understand the players' frustration with the all-star game happening. It absolutely should not be happening. There's no reason for it. I mean, I get the reason for it. It's all about money and eyes, but part of the experience is like fan participation and attendance and all that stuff, and you just wouldn't have it. Like, think about the vibe of a slam dunk contest without the crowd. It just seems so weird. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The next is you have all these protocols, like players aren't even leaving their hotel rooms and visiting cities, and you want to have an all-star game, an exhibition game. So anyway, I think a lot of people agree with that sentiment, including some of the league's top players. But this reluctance, to me, is very unfortunate. So they didn't necessarily ask for this, but it comes with the territory. As public figures and role models, their voices in trusting the vaccine and trusting science specifically do help people. There are people that are looking to them for guidance, for better or for worse. You may disagree with that sentiment. It's just how it is. It's how our country is. People look to celebrities. People look to athletes, all that stuff. The next point, I'll never pretend to know what a black person feels in this country. To say they've been wronged is an understatement. And health disparities are a major factor that needs addressed. And health disparities are disheartening, to say the least. It's a major factor here in their distrust. And I get that because a lot of things are out to get them. And there's not enough being done to address those health disparities. I can't speak in terms of a public health professional. That is a major concern. A lot of your health departments are attempting to address that. Obviously, funding, all that stuff matters, but that is something that is on the top of their head. Given all that, I still think that there's plenty of scientific research to make an informed decision despite all this. I won't tell people not to feel distrust, hurt, or pain from those making the decisions, your politicians, all that stuff. But I can tell you, the people in labs working on vaccines aren't doing it to be unfair to a certain group of people. Despite all the disparities that exist, if anyone asked me if they should get the COVID vaccine and was asking for my opinion, I'd say yes. Obviously, that's given a whole number of risk factors, all that stuff. Like, you don't want, if you have a friend that's pregnant or something, they have way more factors to consider. But in general, if someone asked me if they should get it, I would say yes. And I think even more so, those health disparities are more of a reason to get vaccinated because that gap is only going to widen with that distrust. It's kind of a catch-22. So all a long-winded way for me to say that this is very unfortunate. I am a nod to this, that they're hesitant to promote the vaccines. Not because I'm not trying to
I get it.
value how they feel. It's just I think they should trust the science at the very least. Forget all the other factors. The science is something that I feel passionate about. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are not so sentimental. I think it's pretty simple. Trust the science. And I think that's nice and simple. I think if you are, like you said, if you are a healthy, able person who would have no risks from getting, say, the flu shot, you should go ahead and get the vaccine and trust the science and save lives. And also, the NBA players do not sign on to be NBA spokespeople. They sign on to be basketball players. That is what they have to do. If they don't want to do any public service announcements for the NBA, they don't fucking have to. Let Adam Silver's reptilian ass go on TV and do the commercials. I don't care.
Great.
More power to him. And especially if this is in response to the All-Star game, more fucking power to him. The All-Star game's super dumb. They shouldn't play it. I want to preface this and I guess kind of wrap it up at the same time by saying there is nothing wrong with the vaccine. There is no deep state in America. You will not get autism from the vaccine. You will not suddenly have 5G service in your bloodstream because of the vaccine. You should get the vaccine if you can. And also, if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's okay too. I do not think the government should force you to get the vaccine, but there's nothing to be scared of. And if the only reason you are or aren't getting the vaccine is it hinges on whether Donovan Mitchell is telling you to get the vaccine or not get the vaccine, just I don't care. You're not making an informed decision anyway. So it doesn't mean anything to me one way or the other. I have no problem with the players being... If the players are hesitant because they don't want to be spokesperson for this health thing, sure. If the players are hesitant because they think that they're going to get 5G bloodstreams and Bill Gates is going to install Outlook in their rib cage, then they're morons. There's just no middle ground for me here. There's only there's 4 ways to go about it. Either you believe in the science and you want to get the vaccine, or you believe in the science and something is preventing you from getting the vaccine, or you don't believe in the science and it's because you're distrusting, or you don't believe in the science because you believe in wild conspiracy theories. That's it. There's just there's no reasonable person is saying, hey, I believe the science, but I'm not going to get the vaccine. Then guess what? You don't believe the science. There is no middle ground. You can't believe it'll work and not want to get it and still be a decent human being. Great point. Couldn't agree more.
From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
All right. On that note, let's move on to our favorite section. You know what time it is.
I'm petty as hell. And I'm super petty. Here we petty Le Pew. Go.
Time for You Played Yourself, baby. Thomas, first up on You Played Yourself, I don't think we're going to find any disagreement here. Alex Smith was not a unanimous choice for Comeback Player of the Year this year in the NFL.
Insanity.
He got 49 out of 50 votes. One voter gave it to Ben Roethlisberger. I don't know who that voter is, but they should no longer be a voter. There's no explanation needed. I'll let DJ Khaled handle this.
Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Yeah, that's an easy slam. Easy. Whoever didn't vote for him should get their vote taken away and make it public.
Exactly. You should have to submit your public ballot. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, stand on everything. I actually think people should have to vote publicly, too. I don't want any of this shit to be hidden.
Okay, next up. Brett Favre and Carson Palmer. Please come to the front of the You Played Yourself congregation. First up, Brett Favre. He had this to say about Deshaun Watson. This was via Yahoo Sports. He said, quote, "You get paid a ton of money to do a certain job and just do it and let the chips fall where they may. I think we make too much money to voice an opinion, but I'm not saying he's wrong. Again, I think it's a different day and time, and it'll be interesting to see how the organization handles it." End quote. Before I get your thoughts, I mean, we audibly heard. Let me get the Carson Palmer regarding Dak Prescott out of the way as well. So Carson Palmer, he was on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. He had this to say about Dak Prescott. Quote, "I love Dak's game. I think he's great. I think he shouldn't shoot for the moon on his next contract. Being the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, there's a lot that comes with that financially, so you don't have to be the top paid quarterback. You can make that same top tier money if you're Dak, and you take a little bit less and keep all the players around you within the salary cap structure." End quote. So, all that given said, Brett Favre, Carson Palmer. You go ahead, Thomas.
We talked about doing it. I'm going to give my auto-tuned opinion on Brett Favre really quick. So here we go. I'm going to do it.
Brett Favre, you're a total fucking idiot.
So that's probably the worst take I've heard. I don't know why he thinks that. It's insanity. This is just the old head. This is the old generation being pissed off that they're not relevant anymore. Carson Palmer, I love him. I think he was within his rights to try and get out of Cincinnati. I think he was within his rights to try and get out of Oakland. I think, you know what I mean? I have no problem with either of those things, but please shut the fuck up. None of this has anything to do with you, and all you're doing is making it more difficult on the two notably black players
Yes.
playing the position that has been traditionally white. Please shut up. I understand you're racist. Just keep it to your fucking selves. You don't have to be sneaky about it. We all understand. We see right through it, Brett Favre. It's not, you're not high, you're not tricking it. You're not tricking us. We get it. You're racist. Just leave it alone. What Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott do is absolutely fucking none of your concern. And anytime any single one of these players ever speaks again, they should mention the unsolicited dick pic you sent. 100% of the time. They should say, hey, Deshaun Watson, you just sent a Super Bowl. And he's like, yeah, but how about Brett Favre's dick pic? That was pretty crazy, right? Because they should literally, and I hope all the players remember this, once a player leaves the NFL, he stops giving a fuck about the other players in the NFL. That's how it's always been. This is how the NFLPA loses. It takes care of the players that have already left more than it takes care of the future players. And that's how the NFLPA keeps losing. Why are we protecting the Brett Favres and the Carson Palmers of the world? Why are we even giving Brett Favre a microphone? Who gives a shit? He's not even... Brett Favre is a Hall of Fame, first ballot, Super Bowl winning, MVP quarterback, and he's literally not even the best quarterback of his own team in the last 20 years. So there's zero need for this. Zero need. Absolutely insane takes from both of them.
100,000%. I'm with you. What the fuck is with these old head quarterbacks trying to tell current players how to handle their business? It's never talk about another adult's money. It's none of your fucking business. And you should want the sport to move forward. Maybe then you'll get your props and you'll get your flowers. But then when they hate like this, nobody gives a fuck what they think, and it ruins like the greatness you had on the field. Like, I couldn't despise him more, Brett Favre and Carson Palmer more, because you're talking about these dudes, and you're exactly right. These are two notable African-American quarterbacks, and you're only fucking talking about their money. I don't see you talking jack shit about Carson Wentz and the tantrum, so to speak, he threw in Philly that just, by the way, wound up resulting in him being traded to the Indianapolis Colts that just came through.
Yep.
Where are your takes with those guys? Stop opening your fucking mouth with Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott. It's none of your goddamn business. And if it is your business, I want to hear that same fucking energy with every other quarterback. I want to hear it about Aaron Rodgers. I want to hear it about fucking Tom Brady. Every single notable white quarterback, bring that same fucking energy to the table then.
100%. I'm with you. I think this is so racially charged and obviously racially charged, and it's under the guise of experience and all this shit. Like,
I'm so knowledgeable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brett Favre. Just because this is a guy that came into the league and couldn't read a cover 2 defense. Like Brett Favre, just like Draymond Green. Please do some taxes. I want to see it. Let me see you do it. I want to see their car get stuck in the snow and just see their brains just circulate, trying to figure out what to do. It's
keep punching insane. The gas.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna. For a fact, that's
they
what
would just go in a circle, basically.
It's like you said. Why are they speaking on another grown man's money? And both of these men are in big decision times in their life. It's a little different than speaking on, say, Baker Mayfield. Or who's a big quarterback that just got Mahomes. He just got a huge contract. Say whatever you want about Mahomes. He's not negotiating against anybody right now. You're really trying to give the Dallas Cowboys leverage over Dak Prescott? That's insane.
I've said this multiple times. Dak, milk them fucking dry. They don't deserve anything.
Prem, I love you. I would love to see the Cowboys succeed for you. I hope Dak Prescott gets so much fucking money they can never compete again. I hope that he tanks this team, take it to the bank and back. I don't give a shit. I hope it's a horrible 15 years, and I hope Dak gets every single penny he asks for, 100%, especially now.
I agreed. Like I've already accepted, as long as the Jones family is in charge of this team, which will be forever because they have so many generations already lined up. I'm not going to feel happiness. So, yeah, just fuck them over. They deserve it.
Yep, 100%.
I'm with it. So I mentioned this. I figured I'd just establish the details of the trade. And a quick, you played yourself to the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, the Eagles officially traded Carson Wentz. This was per Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen. They traded him to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional 2022 second-round pick that could become a first. I'm guessing it's tied to how well Carson Wentz does. Interesting fact, now that Wentz is no longer on his original team, 0 out of 22 quarterbacks drafted in the first round between 2009 and 2016 are on their original team.
Whoops.
Crazy. That's bananas. The Eagles, I actually don't know what's going on because, like, this is a really odd situation. And I think more attention would be put on the Eagles if not for the Houston Texans, which is perfect segue into the next you played yourself. The Texans, of course, mutually parted ways with star defensive end J.J. Watt.
Franchise cornerstone. This guy
franchise cornerstone.
You can't say, it's not.
He's Houston. Like, he won Man of the Year, Houston. Too. Like, I know that has nothing to do with the field, but he is Houston. This, honestly, 110%. Might be one of the quickest, biggest messes I've ever seen created by a franchise. It's truly unbelievable what has transpired over the last few years. You're talking about a team that wound up with making such great decisions in the draft. They had J.J. Watt, soon to be the past tense Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Jadeveon Clowney. Like, I don't know how they royally screwed this up so much, but here they are. And I feel for my family. They already said they're going to be free agents. Wherever Deshaun goes, they're going. And I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Bonus. So, obviously, you played yourself to the Texans. Goes without saying. But where do you think J.J. Watt ends up?
I'm going to say something bold, but I do think it's the Bears, if I had to put money on it.
Bears? Really?
His wife plays professional soccer in Chicago.
That's right. She recently, signed or got traded there, I think.
Yeah. So people really lean on the Packers and going home, but I got to be honest, it's not going home if your brothers are elsewhere.
True.
That seems like he's going to go retire and live in Wisconsin or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's not home right now. Like, when people say that stuff, like, go home, like, do his parents probably still live there? Maybe. Is that where he went to college? Sure. I'm sure he has friends there and stuff like that.
He's moving in with his parents.
Exactly. 100. And guess what? If he lives in Chicago or, any of the Cleveland or any of those places, he can see his parents whenever he wants because there's 3 millionaires in that family. There's absolutely nothing stopping him from getting on it. Yeah. Literally, there's nothing stopping him from seeing his parents. So I think that's overblown. I'd say Bears because you know it and I know it. When your wife and future wife, it's just, it's anything to make them happy. I have a hard time believing J.J. Watt is going to know his wife is playing professional soccer in Chicago and he's going to tell her. And I seen J.J. Watt in Chicago, not recently. This was 4 years ago, but I did see him there casually, just chilling. So I know it's a big thing. And by the way, in real life, mammoth of a man.
I was going to say, he's got to be gigantic.
Mammoth of a man. Yeah, I was across the street from him. I yelled, "Hey, JJ," and he waved because he's the world's nicest human being. And he's so nice that if I found out he murdered 60 people, I'd be like, what did they do wrong? Like, why did they piss JJ Watt off? Absolute huge guy, though. You wouldn't even believe. And he's built like a fucking GMC truck. Like, his shoulders are so wide. It's unreal.
Freaking nature.
I would say I'd say Bears.
By the way, I love his parting video. He snuck in a little petty alert by saying, "Even though you booed me on draft night," which I thought was incredible.
JJ is the best.
His entire highlight tape was against Terrell Pryor in that Ohio State game. It still gives me nightmares. But you mentioned the Packers. The Browns are also a favorite because they they have the cap room to sign him right now. Obviously, this
going against his brothers. He did say his favorite games are going against him.
Yeah, that's and then obviously in that same boat, like his two brothers play for the Steelers, so that seems like they're in an atrocious cap situation.
Yeah, they're in cap. Yeah, nightmare. Yeah. And Ben Roethlisberger wants to play, and they don't want him back.
And they shouldn't, by the way.
No, absolutely not.
I'm gonna go with the Packers, or I think my kind of dark. It's not even down that far on the list, but someone like the Bucks, like he signs with them to go get a ring. Which,
yeah, Shaquille Barrett leaves. They sign J.J. Watt instead of keeping him. I could see that. That's not crazy.
By the way, him on the Bears with Khalil Mack would be absolutely incredible.
I think their quarterback matters more than what defense. I think if they get a good quarterback or draft somebody and J.J. Watt's like, fuck yeah, I'm in. J.J. Watt's also got like 4 years left in him. He's not 39 right now. He's got 4 years of high play left in him. Has he declined? Sure. But you got to remember the mountain he's declining off of.
He's also been hurt recently, too.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to be Chicago, though. I think that he's ready to live with his wife and make her happy. They've been in Houston, whatever. That's so far from Chicago. Like, the two life thing doesn't work out.
Right. I like that dark horse pick. I wasn't even thinking about that.
All right.
Last but not least, in You Played Yourself, I wanted to address the Kansas City Chiefs and that Super Bowl. You played yourselves. I thought it was... I mean, Kansas City Chiefs, you just thought it was going to be the same as your first meeting, didn't you? I mean, all credit to Tampa Bay, but not even a touchdown out of Kansas City. Making my pick look so dumb. We had such a string of amazing Super Bowls over the years, but now 2 out of the last 3 years, they've been complete duds. You had that Super Bowl 53 where the Patriots defeated the Rams 13-3, and then now this...
That game was definitely boring from a casual standpoint, but from like a
but at least it was competitive.
It was really interesting. Yeah, it was two really good defenses going against each other, but that's not fun to watch.
And that touchdown didn't come till the end, so the 13-3 seems like it was big, but it really wasn't. That deep pass to Gronk basically sealed it. And then the Super Bowl 55, the Bucks beating the Chiefs 31-9, totally dominating them. And worth noting, out of their 2 meetings, essentially is like they won 7 out of 8 quarters in their 2 meetings. Is this that Chiefs win initially was after a onslaught of a first quarter for them. You know, you played yourself. Yes, it was a boring Super Bowl. Goes without saying. But despite all that, Super Bowl Sunday, a positive note, is still one of the best food days of the year. It is a good thing I am and have been Team Snacks.
What it do, baby?
That team never lets me down, unlike my other team that usually plays on Sundays. As I mentioned earlier, the Jones family is going to see to it that I will be on Team Snacks for Super Bowl Sundays for the foreseeable future anyway. So I guess You Played Yourself goes
for
to
life,
me.
baby.
Team Snacks, baby. More on that later. Oh, and speaking of petty alerts, we need to give him his due props. Antoine Winfield Jr., son of a former Ohio State legend, Antoine Winfield. So go Bucks.
Minnesota Viking great, Antoine Winfield.
Yeah, there you go. Common ground here.
We can share him. We can share him.
Antoine Winfield Jr., which, by the way, was a steal of the draft. I really wanted the Cowboys to get him. But
we all had him in like the top 15 of best players,
he's fantastic.
by the way.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We were dumbfounded he fell. When he was falling, our Slack was going nuts.
I know. I wish the Cowboys would just draft a safety for one time, and this guy was the one. But, of course, he winds up on an already good team. Anyway, him throwing up that peace sign in Tyreek Hill's face at the end of the game, sound it, approve it with flying colors. Sound that fucking petty alert. That bad human being Tyreek Hill. It was a beautiful thing. And the perfect time to do it after you sealed the victory.
Yeah, 1,000%. That was easy.
Now, let's wrap up the episode with who you got and what you feeling. I wanted to recap and I wanted to have you on here because we did the prop bets and the Super Bowl discussion, so it's only right that we brought you back on here. A little recap. Obviously, we talked about how the Super Bowl went. You were 100% correct. The defense was absolutely scarier than people thought, and I picked the Chiefs, was made to look like an idiot. The Bucks won handedly. So props to you. We then talked about a bunch of Super Bowl prop bets. Oh, and obviously the Chiefs were favored in that, so even against the spread, if you took the Bucks, you had it.
I just want side note here. I've gotten every Super Bowl right for like 5 years in a row.
Really?
The last Super Bowl I got wrong, I had the Panthers over the Broncos. And the Super Bowl I got wrong before that was the 2011 Giants over the Pats. I had the Pats. Those are the only two Super
everybody
Bowls
had the
I
Pats.
got wrong. Yeah. Those are the only 2 Super Bowls I got wrong in the last decade. I just want that on the record.
You could have led with that. I would have changed my pick.
I know. But no, I want money. I want to go against the thing. But you could just tell if there's something about it. I'm good at it. I'm good at that, and I can always know whether a pregnant woman's having a woman or a man child.
Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that.
Always.
Like, you didn't just say what you
My older sister has 3 kids.
That's such a casual way. Such a casual way to bring that up.
It's a flex. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just good at picking it. If you give me a 50-50 at something, I'll get it right every time.
What do you need? Like, do you need them in person or like a picture?
I need them in person. I need to get an aura. Don't mock me. This isn't a joke. Don't laugh.
No,
I need your serious voice.
I have some friends that
Fly
are
'em
pregnant.
over, baby.
So, I know, but that's what I was wondering. I was like, if I could like give you their Instagram handles, like if it was that way, then I'd be like, okay, then I'll make my prediction using your.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Just
I'm telling you, always
baby predictor, Ronda Rousey bully. Scott Rowland, number one fan. He does it fucking all, guys. Comedian. These are actual. Now they're real titles. Comedian, musician.
I'm insane. What a multi-talented man I am. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
you know what? I can
what a
do
blessing
better
for
than
the number
you.
one podcast listeners.
This is crazy. I think I'm going to get unengaged and roll the dice here. See how much higher I can shoot. What's Olivia Munn doing these days? Is Hillary Duff taken?
He's now he's one of those old heads. All of a sudden he turned into Carson Palmer.
Yeah, right.
What's Hillary Duff doing these days? I heard Betty White's available.
Hillary Duff needs to shut up and take her contract. All right.
Freaking old head trying to tell Disney stars what to do.
Just trying to give them advice. You know, I got experience.
There's no good transition from there, but prop bets were no different really. You really did do pretty well here. The one I did win was wardrobe changes. I went with the under. Yeah. The weekend never changed, so the over under was at a half. So he did not end up changing the songs. This was our last episode. You literally took the push of 8 songs. And you gave me the over and the under, and we bet pizza on it. And you were exactly right. It was 8 songs exactly. And worth noting to you, number one podcast listeners, I did pay up on my pizza bet.
He did right away.
Yes.
Right away.
And you got pizza that night, right? As soon as we realized.
I ordered pizza that night from you. It was free pizza.
Perfect.
I'm not going to complain. And it was tater tots.
Wow, there we go. Man of my word. Okay, as for the first song performed by The Weeknd, I think you took the field. I took Blinding Lights. The Weeknd actually finished with Blinding Lights, but he started with Starboy. So Starboy was pretty high on the odds. It was like plus 750. So not a bad one if you went with that. And then the length of the national anthem, we both went with under 2 minutes, and it was over by a lot. It went 2 minutes 17 seconds by Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan. The over-under with the Super Bowl commercials referencing first responders. I didn't find this one for sure, but I think it was under. It did end up being a lot of commercials.
Yeah, when I watched, I only saw 2.
Yeah. So
I think
that
we both
was like we thought a given, but
I thought it was over 10. I'm pretty sure I told someone to take a reverse mortgage ad on their house and bet.
You absolutely did. I didn't want to do that to you after gassing you up with all the positivity, but you absolutely did because I still have the notes here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was about to say I definitely told someone to do that, but whatever.
And then the over-under obviously was way under. It was set at 56 and a half, and of course they combined for 40 points. We did MVP picks, and we kind of took long shot picks. Obviously, the low-hanging fruit was the quarterbacks, and we both knew that. But you had Mike Evans or JPP, and we texted back and forth during the game. JPP actually did have a freaking amazing game.
Yeah, and we were like every single sack, we were like, oh my God.
If he would have just like stripped Mahomes.
Strip one. Yep. If it was closer and JPP pulls a touchdown back, I think that's his. Brady got it by default.
Yeah, he got and it was because he had a good amount of touchdowns. He didn't have a lot of yards. I think he had like 200 yards passing.
Yeah.
Because they had a pretty decent run game. All right. So kudos to you on those picks. I'll have to remember that next year to tend to go with you because you've only missed a few of those Super Bowl picks.
I'm pretty good at it.
For this week, I wanted to talk NFL draft with you because amongst all your other titles, you are my go-to for anything scouting. You know your stuff. You know how to scout in general. I just go off my eye test and what I know. Hot takes, you know how we do here. But before that, we talked about being on Team Snacks. I wanted to get a quick your power rankings on snacks, Super Bowl Sunday or otherwise. But like you know what I'm talking, like junk snacks.
Yeah. I get it.
What are your power rankings?
Okay, I'm just going to do a top 3. Wings is 1, and if someone doesn't have wings at 1, they are not a friend of mine. 2 is those Snyder's honey mustard pretzels specifically. Those little things I'm talking about.
Yes,
you know,
the bites, right?
Yep, those things are number 2, and I could demolish those endlessly, but only during football. And 3, I'm going to go, this is a little hot takey, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to come out, and I'm just going to say it. This is a very brave thing because I'm not going to go pizza or one of the other traditional ones. I'm going to go with French fries. So I don't know what it is, but I like having just a plate of fries, you know? Like when I'm watching the game.
I feel like I'm more likely to get fries at the game.
Yeah, I could see that, like 100%. Yeah. When I go to games, though, I spend zero money on food.
I only ever buy popcorn at games. I have to.
I can't buy that.
I have a thing for like actual popcorn machines. Like my goal is to have one in my house because it's my favorite.
Yeah, you know what? My credit card only has such a limit that I can't afford to get popcorn at an NFL game. I go to Jersey Mike's beforehand.
Oh, love Jersey Mike's. Love J Mike's. Best thing your state's provide. I'm kidding. Besides,
actually, you're not wrong. And fun fact, I worked with the guy. There's at Jersey Mike's. There's something called the Cancro Special, and I worked with. Yeah, and I worked with John Cancro, who the Cancro Special. It's his family. That's the family that owns Jersey Mike's. And I asked him, and I said, "What's like the secret? How did Jersey Mike's? Why is it so much better than everything else?" And he simply said, "It's just not Subway," and that's very anti-us.
Damn, that's cold.
I'm very team Subway, but he did say that sandwiches and that whole market just sucks so much that they just use fresh ingredients, and that's it. That's the whole difference.
And that was the difference.
Yeah. He was like, he's like, you're going to a deli. There's no difference between going to your local ShopRite and having them make you a sandwich at a Jersey Mike's. True.
Although Jersey Mike's underrated, but they get crispy bacon there, and
I know.
They know what they're doing with that. And that Mike's way, they know what they're doing with that too. They just boiled it down to way simpler. Like, isn't that many choices. Your go-to is like Mike's way. Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's great. I love it.
All right, so my power rankings, I'm 100% with you. Wings are number 1.
Nice.
From our Team Snacks episode from last year, I'm still waiting on my wing sponsor. So last year, my brother and I did a ranking, and we were kind of promoting the snack rankings, and he put chips and dip as his number 1, and Frito-Lay sent him a package for doing that. And I'm trying to figure out why Rooster's, my favorite local wing spot, won't sponsor me. Any wing spot. I'm a free agent. I love fried chicken. Where is it at? Anyway,
can we do it? No. Give us Rooster's soundbite right now. Give us a 10-second Rooster commercial. Just send it into them. Okay. See what they say.
Yeah, let's do it. You want the best chicken of your life? Come to Rooster's. It's a mouthful of amazing.
Mouthful of amazing. I love it. Can I get a shot at it?
Yeah, go.
Hey, Brett Favre. What are you, a fucking idiot? Get Roosters. Stop opening your mouth and chew on some Roosters.
He'd probably get no sauce on it, though.
Yeah, no, he's a moron.
He get the naked tenders.
Yeah, like he's a child, actually. He's just like, can I get chicken fingers? You guys got chicken fingers?
You guys got a kids menu? Okay, next for me, I'm a chips and dip guy. This year, my wife threw down with amazing dips. We had a Nashville hot chicken dip and everything bagel dip. And then she also had a dessert dip that you dip like vanilla wafers or graham crackers and funfetti dip. And it was bomb. It was a great combo. My number 3 is pizza. I know it's kind of a cop-out, but I feel like that is very synonymous with Super Bowls for me. And then my dark horse nostalgic pick is Pinwheels. Do you know the?
Nice.
Have you ever had those? Yeah.
So good.
Like the little tortilla that you put a spread in and you roll it up and you cut them into little bite-sized pieces. For those that don't know,
Delicious.
Those are like very nostalgic for Super Bowls. We used to go to the same house every year for Super Bowls, and they'd always have pinwheels there. So I think that's why I gravitate towards them. That's my dark horse number 4 pick. Very easy to make, by the way. If you're trying to be known for like a Super Bowl snack or a go-to, it's very easy. And then to drink, I'm a pop drinker or soda, for those of you offended by my Midwest. But
that's insane.
I love just like when I'm watching a game, I just want like a pop or a soda and over an alcohol beverage.
Yeah, I just tried a new soda. This is odd timing. I tried it before I even got the outline for the episode, but I'm going to make quite the guarantee for everyone that's listening to your podcast right now. There is a vanilla Coca-Cola with coffee. Okay.
I had it.
Okay.
It's amazing.
If someone on this podcast has it, doesn't like it, and tweets at you or whatever, lets you know, I will give them $4 on Venmo. And will happily do my best to afford, if whatever I can afford to give out to reimburse people, I will do so, because it is so fucking good.
It is delicious. I was apprehensive, and I was like,
Same.
I gotta try it, because vanilla Coke is actually my favorite.
Same.
Really?
Big
Wow.
same. Yep,
Genius.
big same.
Yeah, vanilla Coke is like, and I only ever get in like 20-ounce bottles because it's not always in every grocery store in the 12 packs or whatever. But yeah, it's since college, or since it came out. Like, I had a friend in high school and then a friend in college. Still send him a picture every time I get a vanilla Coke.
Remind me after we stop recording to tell you the Coca-Cola story.
Okay. All right.
Okay, just remind me, because it's no one cares, but I love telling these people this.
So we have plenty of endorsements on here, so please reach out. Please reach out to us, companies.
We got tons of time. We could do whatever you want. I'm like, anyway, so let's get to the Roosters quarterback section.
Exactly. We got a real spicy sauce here. It's the Korean barbecue breakdown. Okay, so NFL draft. I want to get your expertise on these. Just a little appetizer. See what I did there? Before we get closer to it, since it's just over 2 months or so away, which is kind of crazy to think. But first up, your QB ranking. How do you rank like Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Lance, Mac Jones, whoever it is? What's your quick QB ranking?
Really quick, zero explanation. I would go Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, Mac Jones, a big gap, and then Trey Lance.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I think Trey Lance is going to get somebody fired. Yeah,
he is a small.
Trey Lance, and not only that, he's thrown like 200 passes since his freshman year of high school.
Crazy. They had like basically just had like a showcase game for him, right?
Yep. Yeah, it was
like
such a fraud. Horrible. Look at Carson Wentz, who comes from the same system.
Yeah, North Dakota State. I was going to say the same thing.
These guys
very little experience.
The term system quarterback gets thrown around a lot, but these guys are system quarterbacks. They'll do great in a situation where any quarterback can do great. If the reads are super easy and they could just use their arm strength and their legs to make stuff happen, they'll do great. When stuff breaks down and they can't get going, they look like a fucking mess.
So, in relation to kind of like the recent best quarterback prospects, where does Lawrence rank for you?
How recent are we on? Like last 10 years?
Yeah. Let's say last 10 years.
He's a notch below Luck and Winston coming out.
Okay, that's good context. Those are like kind of the names I was thinking. Specifically Andrew Luck.
Obviously Winston didn't work out, but as a prospect, coming out, he was like flawless.
Yeah, it was a given.
Yeah, he was like, everyone was like, there's no way you take Mariota over this guy. Like, you just can't do it. But Luck, the same thing. It was just like, you have to take them first overall. There's zero debate. That's true. Lawrence is just below.
Okay. Any dark horse quarterback prospects to consider?
You're not going to like this, but Peyton Ramsey from Northwestern.
I actually I think he's very good. For a little history, he was a transfer from Indiana. Seems like a great guy, and he really
Yeah.
did do amazing for Northwestern this past year. I don't
They have
I really
zero talent on offense around him.
No, they really didn't.
Yeah, so he honestly, he's just one of those guys that does have a quality arm. He makes good reads. It's hard to get him to make a mistake. And, he's a productive player. And I think at the very least, he turns into Kirk Cousins, who I also think is very good and underrated, despite being a Vikings fan. I was saying that long before Kirk Cousins joined the team.
Perfect. Okay. What about the wide receiver ranking? So obviously we keep hearing the same three names at the top of the wide receiver board.
Yeah.
How do you rank Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle, or if there's another person in there that you want to put in?
That order.
Okay. You have Chase, Smith,
Waddle. Yeah.
Okay. If you were making kind of like an offensive weapon, a broader category, where would Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida, fit in with those three?
Second.
Okay. Behind Chase.
I'd have Smith, Pitts, Smith, Waddle. I think there's a significant gap between Smith and Waddle, too.
I personally, with my, of course, not the scouting eye that you have, that's kind of how I felt, too. They just feel like more all-around receivers over Waddle.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Waddle's good. He really is, but he's more Dez Bryant than he is Terrell Owens, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, I do. Do I think he's a good player? Absolutely. Do I think he has anything world-breaking about him? No.
Right. We'll see if it's his speed, but of course, there's fast people everywhere. So you would put Chase, Pitts, then Smith, then Waddle.
Yes.
Well, kind of a gap, then Waddle.
Yep.
Okay, and
I think the kid from Florida, Kadarius Toney, is like right on Waddle's heels.
Okay.
Like, I think they're really close. If someone said, gun to your head, who's the surprise wide receiver from the draft, I'd say people are going to be like, how did someone not draft Kadarius?
Okay. I haven't heard him much in the first round, so I wonder if he's a day 2 guy.
I think it's a lot like Winfield, where the people
he shouldn't
who
be,
like,
but is.
Yeah, he shouldn't be, but he very well could be.
All right. Okay. I wanted to get your thoughts on if there are a clear lock in any one position. So, I mean, I don't want to answer for you, but everybody feels like that's Trevor Lawrence and quarterback. I'm sure you agree with that, being where you historically ranked him. But are there any other positions besides quarterback that have a clear-cut number one guy, in your opinion?
Sewell. 100%. I think linebacker, Micah Parsons, who's a shitty person. Yeah, he is a shitty person, but he is a good linebacker. And I'm going to say running back. I think it's Najee Harris, and I don't think ETN's got it.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, I think Najee Harris is just... He's more Derrick Henry than people realize. Yeah, he's crazy.
He's like... am I wrong? He's a little bit better catching out of the backfield than Derrick... Well, Derrick Henry's not used that way, but...
Yeah, well, Derrick Henry's rare in the same sense that Najee Harris is rare. But I think Najee Harris is... I mean, Derrick Henry's unique. He's like a fast Jerome Bettis kind of guy. He's just going to stuff you over and over and over again. We doing phrasing? But Derrick Henry's just going to continuously do what he wants to do and eventually break one off. I think Najee Harris is more like Adrian Peterson.
Okay. Yeah, he does run violently like that.
Yep, I think he's rare, and if the running back situation hadn't taken the dip in value like it has, he'd be a top 10 pick.
Wow. Okay, it's high praise. Do you think he'll go in round 1?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think ETN will also?
Maybe. I'm way less confident.
Fringe.
My super hot take, if I had to make let's do a whole draft episode so I can shit all these out. But the Falcons will trade back from 4 to the Eagles, so the Eagles could take their quarterback. The Falcons will trade back again and then take Najee Harris.
Wow.
And give Arthur Smith his Derrick Henry.
Oh, I dig that.
Yep. That's my bold take. That's what I think is like. If I think I can get into the head of the Falcons, that's what I'm thinking.
All right. They would pick up a lot of picks trading back twice.
Yep, and I don't think that team is as bad as people think they are, and I don't think that the talent at the top of the board is as beneficial as to them. You know what I mean? I mean, Rousseau is great, but like they could possibly get him later. They don't really need an offensive lineman. Taking a wide out seems a little insane for them, but and maybe Pitts, if they love Pitts, him at 4. But Matt Ryan loves Hayden Hurst. So it just, the board doesn't add up. They're a prime trade down candidate. Prime.
Especially now with all these quarterback teams that need quarterbacks.
Yep. They get a little something from the Eagles to move to 6. And then if a team wants to jump up from like 14, 15 to 6, and they pick up like a second this year or a first next year to do it, they're set now. Now they've got to, and they got to get their guy, and they could get Rousseau or somebody at 15, 16 or whatever anyway.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good note or transition into, do you have a quick top 5 mock for us?
Yeah. Lawrence, 1 to Jacksonville. Okay. Wilson, 2 to the Jets. I'm going to go with Sewell, 3 to Miami. Okay. If I can't trade back with 4 at Atlanta, I'm going to take Kyle Pitts. And at 5, I'm going to take Jamar Chase.
Wow. So the Bengals get their new
and they pair
receiver.
him back with Joe Burrow.
Wow. True. He gets his guy. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's where I think that goes.
My uneducated take is obviously Lawrence, number 1. I'm going Wilson, 2, just like you. I say Miami goes receiver. I would go with Jamar Chase over Devontae Smith as well, but I could see it going either way. And then Atlanta, I feel like, is ready to transition to a new era, so I would say Fields at 4, which
makes sense.
I love your idea of them trading back. And then obviously, if he's on the board, Cincinnati has to take Sewell. Need to protect Joe Burrow there, so.
That's the lock of the draft. If Sewell falls to 5, Cincinnati is taking him.
By the way, if you ever see a fucking mock draft or something with Sewell not being the first offensive tackle taken or Trevor Lawrence for some reason not being the number 1 pick, immediately close that window.
Yeah,
there's just no fucking point.
Add it to the malicious sites in your Chrome bar too. Like they never go back.
Yeah, it shouldn't, and if it does happen that way, they're just wrong. I don't know.
Find that person on Twitter and block them. just save yourself the time.
What are you feeling lately, man?
This is interesting, and I did prepare something small for this, and I want to get it out quickly. The number one thing I'm feeling right now, and it's totally good, is nostalgic TV. Old MTV and stuff is like so good. Like, have you watched any of the fucking, what's the bus show? The Next Bus? Like, oh my God, dude, this is so
that
good
show.
and horrible. So brutal. Could you imagine in this day and age? So I watched a Next Bus episode where a black guy gets off and this blonde white girl was like, next. And then he gets back on the bus immediately. And he actually makes a comment. He's like, whatever, I don't play with Barbies anyway. And then gets back on the bus. And she was like, I don't want my dad to disapprove of who I'm dating. So I had to next him. And I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
Like, this wasn't that long ago that this show was on TV.
I was like in middle school. I remember watching that show.
Yeah, no, it's wild though. Like, all these old shows, like even Flavor of Love, like I watch them while I'm at work. I'll just like put my headphones in and play like YouTube compilations and stuff of like these old MTV shows, and wow, it's like a nightmare. Like Bam Margera, his dad would be like, he's like, hey, my dad needs like heart surgery, so we're gonna wake him up with pots and pans every day for a week. And it's like, what the fuck is happening?
And slap the shit out of him.
Yeah, like this makes no sense, but it's just old TV was so much better than new TV. And new TV is here's the middle ground. If it's cinematic TV, it's amazing. If it's one of those great shows, you know, like Stranger Things and all that other stuff, but there's no good junk or shitty TV. You know what I mean? Like there's no just TV where you can zone out and do it. Like Game of Thrones was amazing, but it was an event. You know what I mean? And
yeah, you had to like full attention on it.
Yeah, those shows that are out right now are amazing, but there's no halfway shows you can enjoy anymore.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
What about you?
I am feeling the new movie Judas and the Black Messiah. It is now out on HBO Max. It has to deal with the Black Panther Party and Fred Hampton. It is an amazing movie. I think it'll get some Oscar buzz. It should. Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield are amazing in it. So I highly recommend it if you have access to HBO Max. And then also, we got some new heat that is out. Creme Brulee hats. A big stay tuned alert for that. That sharing, reviewing, and supporting just might let you wind up with some of this heat. So
I'm wearing one right now. Wearing one right now.
You love to hear it. So keep an eye out for that, and that's what I'm feeling lately. And you already know how I like to wrap up each episode with my too much sense. So this episode, I wanted to encourage you all to give yourself a break. It's okay to do nothing or just be a lazy couch potato. I feel like so often we feel like we have to be doing something or checking off an item from our to-do list. Doing nothing is actually a beautiful thing if you think about it. You're taking time for yourself, and you're taking time to forgive yourself if you're not being productive. In a way, it is being productive because you're focusing on yourself and just kind of letting things be. So for the time being, give yourself a break. We all need those moments, and forgive yourself for doing it. It's not the end of the world if you just need to take a little bit of time for yourself. So that's my too much sense for this week, man.
That is unbelievably good advice, and everyone should listen. Be lazy. You have one life. Have fun. Relax. It's not that serious. No matter what, it's not.
100%. But anyway, that wraps up another edition of the #1 podcast in your headphones, Creme Brulee. I want to thank you, Thomas, for joining me.
Always. It's my pleasure.
Never a dull moment. Appreciate you. We added a whole new dynamic to this episode with auto-tune.
Yeah,
so, I mean, just onward and upward, baby. I appreciate you joining me, man. And you know the drill, you #1 podcast listeners. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. And we appreciate you as always. We'll talk to you next episode.
Stop opening your mouth and chew on some roosters.
It's a mouthful of amazing.